Here's my segue to rough rice.
There you go.
All right, rough rice market is moving higher right now. Keep an eye on this one. Rice overall has gained about 40%. Yeah, 40% gain in the first 6 months of the year. When you look at all of the row crops, it's actually leading all row crops in gains. That November contract at $13.71, trading up about half penny at last check. It's been higher 10 out of the last 11 sessions. So from one rough stock to one rough rice. Well, here's one thing. We feed corn to rough stock, right? Here's the December 445 3/4. We're up 3.5, trying to move higher for the third straight session. How about beans? Beans also looking to move higher for the third straight session, up 7 at 11.56 1/4. We have the wheat market, and we're focusing now on the September. I know it's not the front month, but it is most active at 606 1/2. It's up 6.5 cents. Here's hard red. It's trading up 2 3/4, 637 3/4. And the cotton market, December contract 77.72. It's down 12. Well, from rough stock and rough rice to the rough Wild West. How about Dodge City and Brady Huck? Brady's with EmpowerAg Trading. Now, Brady, it feels kind of like a weekend, doesn't it?
We're getting there. It's certainly a Friday for grain traders here as we prepare for the July 4th holiday weekend. Go celebrate 250 years of America. And if you want to celebrate America the best way, I can't think of a better way than heading off to a great American rodeo. So if you want to see a live American spirit, a rodeo is a great place to go check that. But it's kind of been a rodeo here for the grain markets too this week, Tony. We're trying to finish with net gains here in corn and beans. Wheat is posting a really strong week, up nearly 20 cents on your KC wheat market, trying to close above the 100-day moving average this week. 3 straight days of gains. The U.S. wheat crop is, it has its fair share of problems. We've got lower acreage in Canada. We've got problems in Europe and a potential for super El Nino to impact Australia down there. So dominoes are starting to line up and fall and give wheat bulls a little bit of a reason to rally here. Export side of things, we had our weekly exports here this morning, not overwhelming. Corn exports came in within expectations. Beans were below expectations, and wheat was on the lower end. So we'd like to see those weekly exports coming a little bit stronger this week. That's kind of a downer type news deal, but we'll see what the next week holds here ahead. Had some crush data also out yesterday, Tony, and that was supportive. Corn used for ethanol in May was about 6% above year ago. And year to date, soybean processing, I believe, is about 8% above year ago level too. So demand front, that's the type of news we want to see on the demand side of things, Tony.
Yeah, good points. Okay, Brady, quick break here. When we come back, we'll pick up the livestock markets, see if we can keep this rodeo theme going here. Again, talking with Brady Huck. We're back with more Market Day Report. Let's look at livestock futures. Here is the fats. Here are the fats. Here is the I'm not sure. August 242.17 up 35. The October 40 higher at 237.12. Now the October moving higher for the second straight day, but that August is trying to break a 4-day losing streak. We'll have eyes on cash trade this week. Feeder cattle. Yeah, it's August in positive territory. All the deferreds are trading lower. Hog market, hogs have been under pressure. We're down for the second straight day, and the August at 96.80 is down 25 cents. Brady Huck's in Dodge City, EmpowerAg Trading. All right, Brady, let's see. I'm going to read this verbatim. We are still harvesting wheat in north central Kansas after 10 to 15 inches of rain the last 4 weeks. Test weights, mid-50s. Yields, 20 to 35. Hopefully, we'll be able to finish up by next week. That's Brad Keeler, who sent that over to me. But it just shows you there is such a difference as you move across the state. of really dry conditions and really wet conditions.
That's the name of the game out here in the fringe acres, and especially in the semi-arid desert. We got really in Kansas, you have two states. You have an eastern half of the state, eastern third of the state, and a western third of the state. And as you progressively go west, typically it gets a lot drier. But variability, when you have years with dismal moisture or stretches with dismal moisture, you really see the highlights of pockets that had good and then pockets that had too much. And in today's world, it seems like we get a lot of extremes on both ends, where it rains a lot for a small area, and we go through a stretch where we have a lot of drought in an area. So extremes on both ends, Tony.
All right. Speaking of extremes, let's look at fat cattle here. August contract, and you talk about some extremes here. We were trading under that 235 range up until late March, and then we opened the gates and started running. Do we still have more room here? Is there still more air to move higher?
I think so. You know, futures haven't had the best of the week on the cattle side of things. We've seen feeders lose $5 this week, and fats are down about $4 on the week. And you look at that August contract on the fat cattle side of things, and we're just chopping between this 250 and 235 range, waiting for that next move. Cash trade this week, the Packers won the battle and bought cattle $3 to $5 cheaper versus a week ago. It's not what we want to see, but if you've got cattle to move, you've got to take the best offer and roll with it. We've seen some weakness in the cutout over the past week, and we failed to hold that $400 level in choice cutout, trading $391 right now. And that choice select spread, remember earlier this year, it was trading an inverse where select was trading above choice, kind of that weird deal. We're now where choice is $20 firmer than select, and prime is actually $20 firmer than choice. So we're entering a seasonal time frame where it's harder to get cattle to grade with the warmer weather and things, and we'll see those premiums for choice and prime continue to increase, and possibly the grading for those to continue to fall back a little bit as it's harder to reach those levels.
All right, and as we head into this long weekend, by the way, no markets tomorrow in observance of Independence Day, but one thing that you're thankful for as we head into this 4th of July weekend.
I'm glad you asked, Tony. You know, family's incredibly important to me. It's incredibly important to everyone in rural America, and I'm so thankful for the blessings I have with family.
Yeah, family's hard to beat. Thanks for being a part of our family, too. Brady Huck is with EmpowerAg Trading in Dodge City.
Couldn't agree more.